Every 10 minutes, an older adult in the United States suffers a stroke. Most people think it's because of fast food, lack of exercise, or bad genetics. But there's something else almost no one is talking about. Some of the vitamins sitting on your shelf, the ones you trust for your health, could actually be raising your stroke risk without you realizing it. Recent studies show that one popular supplement, still recommended to millions of seniors, can raise the chance of stroke by over 300% if it's taken in the wrong form or dose. And here's the worst part. Almost no one over 60 knows this is happening. These aren't rare, obscure pills. They're in your daily multivitamin, your brain booster, and even some products given to stroke survivors. And the danger doesn't take years to build up. Some of these vitamins can change your blood chemistry within hours, making your blood too thick, too thin, or even damaging your brain's tiny blood vessels. That's why doctors in stroke units are warning patients. Check your supplements now, especially if you've had dizziness, confusion, blurry vision, or sudden fatigue. Those might not be normal signs of aging. They could be signals that your brain's blood supply is already in danger. Today, we're revealing the top 6 vitamins that can quietly raise your stroke risk overnight, ranked from least to most dangerous. And the number 1 vitamin on this list? It's still marketed as essential for seniors, yet new data shows it can raise clotting risk more than high blood pressure itself. Before we start, comment below. Which supplements do you take every morning? We're reading every comment and replying with tips. Let's begin with number 6. Vitamin number 6, synthetic vitamin E. Number 6 is one of the most misunderstood vitamins for older adults. Synthetic vitamin E. Most people think vitamin E is always good. It's marketed as heart healthy, brain boosting, even anti-aging. But in the wrong form, it can silently turn your blood from safe to dangerous. Here's the truth. Most senior multivitamins still use a cheap, man-made version called D-alpha tocopherol. It's easy to miss because the name looks almost the same as natural vitamin E, but inside your body, it doesn't act the same at all. Synthetic vitamin E can actually block the natural forms your brain and blood vessels need. That imbalance weakens your arteries, fuels inflammation, and raises the risk of clots. And that's just one problem. This version also thins your blood. For a younger person, that might not be dangerous. But for someone over 60, especially on aspirin, warfarin, or cholesterol drugs, it can push your blood to a critical point. One large study published in the British Medical Journal found that synthetic vitamin E increased the risk of deadly brain bleeds by 22%. And for seniors, that number can climb even higher because of natural blood vessel fragility. Warning signs are often missed. Unexplained bruises, sudden dizziness, blurry vision, nosebleeds that don't stop. Sometimes there's no warning at all, just a sudden, severe headache or blackout. So what should you do? First, check every label. If you see D-alpha tocopherol, that's synthetic. Switch to a natural version labeled D-alpha tocopherol with mixed tocopherols. Even better, skip the pills and get vitamin E naturally. 1 ounce of sunflower seeds gives you most of what you need. Almonds, spinach, and avocados are also safe, powerful sources. And if you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor before changing anything, but don't wait for symptoms. Protect your brain now, before this hidden risk builds up. Vitamin number 5, retinol palmitate, vitamin A. Number 5 is a vitamin most seniors take for their vision and skin health. But in its synthetic form, it can silently damage your brain's blood vessels and even raise your risk of stroke. It's called retinol palmitate. You'll find it in many multivitamins, vision supplements, and even some fortified foods. Most people don't know it, but this form of vitamin A is stored in your liver. And once those levels get too high, the damage begins, with almost no warning. Unlike beta-carotene from carrots or sweet potatoes, your body doesn't control how much retinol palmitate it absorbs. It just keeps building up. Over weeks or months, this can stress the linings of your blood vessels, especially in the brain where they're thin and fragile. The result? Narrowed capillaries, rising pressure inside the skull, and more risk of both ischemic stroke and sudden blood pressure spikes. Warning signs can be subtle at first. Headaches, double vision, nausea. Some people notice nosebleeds or dizziness when standing, but for others, the first sign is something far more serious, a sudden collapse or seizure caused by brain swelling. Older adults face the biggest risk. As we age, our liver gets less efficient at clearing excess nutrients. That means even moderate doses of synthetic vitamin A can build up quickly. If you also eat liver, use cod liver oil, or consume fortified cereals, you may be getting 2 or 3 times the recommended amount without realizing it. How can you avoid this? Skip any supplement that lists retinol palmitate or retinol as its vitamin A source, unless a doctor prescribes it. Instead, choose beta-carotene from whole foods like carrots, spinach, sweet potatoes, or butternut squash. Your body converts only what it needs and discards the rest. And if you've been taking synthetic vitamin A for months, ask your doctor for a liver test and blood work. Catching the buildup early can save your brain. Vitamin number 4, ginkgo biloba. Number 4 is an herb many seniors trust to sharpen memory and protect the brain. But at the wrong dose or in the wrong form, ginkgo biloba can quietly make your brain more likely to bleed. For decades, ginkgo has been sold as a natural way to boost memory and slow aging. But new studies show that in high doses, or when mixed with the wrong medications, it can raise your risk of hemorrhagic stroke. Here's why. Ginkgo contains plant chemicals called ginkolide and bilobalide. These thin the blood and widen blood vessels. At safe levels, that can help circulation. But when the dose is too high, or when combined with aspirin, warfarin, or even ibuprofen, it can push your blood to the point where tiny brain vessels burst. In one study published in Neurology, older adults taking high-dose ginkgo had a 38% higher risk of brain bleeding. Case reports even described seniors suffering sudden, massive brain bleeds after combining ginkgo with daily aspirin, a combination millions of older adults take. Symptoms can appear fast. Sudden dizziness, slurred speech, a splitting headache, or confusion and weakness on one side of the body. These are not minor side effects. They can be the first signs of a life-threatening brain bleed, so what should you do? First, check the source and dose. If your bottle doesn't clearly list the standardized amounts, 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones, it may not be safe. Avoid any product with unclear labeling or extra strength claims. Second, if you're taking aspirin, blood thinners, or anti-inflammatory drugs, stop ginkgo immediately and talk to your doctor. There are safer ways to support your brain. Natural foods like beets, arugula, and pomegranates boost nitric oxide, which improves memory and blood flow without the same risk. Don't wait for a symptom to strike. The safest brain booster is one that won't put you in the hospital. Vitamin number 3, vitamin B6, pyridoxine. Number 3 is a vitamin most people think is completely harmless. It's in multivitamins, energy drinks, and nerve health supplements for seniors. But too much of it, especially in pill form, can quietly damage your nerves and stiffen your arteries. It's called vitamin B6, or pyridoxine. Your body needs small amounts to make neurotransmitters and keep your metabolism running. But high doses, over 100 milligrams per day, can build up in your system and turn toxic. Here's why this is especially dangerous as we age. When you're younger, your liver clears out excess B6 quickly because it's water-soluble. But as you get older, your liver slows down. What used to flush out can now linger in your blood, irritating your nerves and your blood vessels. Studies confirm the danger. A report in Clinical Nutrition tracked over 5,000 seniors. Those taking large doses of B6 were twice as likely to develop sensory neuropathy, a condition that causes tingling, numbness, and unstable walking. Even worse, another study found that long-term B6 use can actually raise homocysteine levels in some people. Homocysteine is an amino acid that inflames arteries and raises stroke risk, even if your cholesterol and blood pressure are normal. The symptoms can sneak up on you. Sudden dizziness when standing. Numbness in your hands or feet. Tremors or a wobbly walk. And behind the scenes, your arteries may be getting stiffer, making a stroke more likely. How can you protect yourself? First, check your total intake. Add up the B6 from all your supplements, energy boosters, and fortified foods. If you're getting more than 50 to 100 milligrams per day, you're in the danger zone. Second, avoid time-release B6 supplements. They can build up slowly without symptoms, until it's too late. Finally, if you're worried, ask your doctor for a homocysteine test. If it's high, cut back on B6 and focus on folate and B12 from whole foods like leafy greens and eggs. Vitamin number 2, vitamin E plus ginkgo. Number 2 isn't just one vitamin or herb. It's a dangerous combo millions of older adults take every day, without knowing the risk. High-dose vitamin E and ginkgo biloba. Individually, they can thin your blood. Together, they can push it to the point where your brain's tiny vessels can burst. Here's what happens. Synthetic vitamin E, labeled as DL-alpha tocopherol, makes your blood less likely to clot. That might sound healthy, but for seniors on aspirin, warfarin, or cholesterol drugs, it can lead to dangerous bleeding. Ginkgo biloba, often sold as a memory booster, does something similar. Its natural chemicals thin your blood and widen blood vessels. But if you mix it with vitamin E, or even with ibuprofen or daily aspirin, you're stacking the odds for a hemorrhagic stroke, the deadliest kind. Most people have no idea this is happening. The warning signs can be subtle: easy bruising, nosebleeds that don't stop, sudden dizziness or confusion. But sometimes, there's no sign until it's too late, just a sharp headache or blackout as a vessel bursts. How do you protect yourself? First, check every label. If your multivitamin contains DL-alpha tocopherol, switch to a natural food-based version or whole foods like nuts and seeds. And if you're taking ginkgo, stop unless your doctor approves it, especially if you use any blood thinners or anti-inflammatory drugs. Your brain's vessels are fragile, especially after 60. Don't let a health stack turn into a silent threat. Vitamin number 1, B12 injections, cyanobalamin. Number 1 is the vitamin almost every doctor recommends to seniors. It's given as pills, shots, and even IV drips. But in the wrong form or dose, it can raise your stroke risk and trigger microstrokes without warning. It's vitamin B12, but specifically the form called cyanobalamin. Most people are told B12 is harmless and always good for the brain. And for those who are deficient, it's essential. But cyanobalamin isn't a natural form. It's cheap and widely used, but your body has to convert it into methylcobalamin, the form your brain actually uses. During that conversion, your liver releases a small amount of cyanide as a byproduct. Normally, a healthy body clears it out easily. But in older adults, especially those with weaker kidneys or livers, the body struggles to detoxify. Over time, the cyanide and excess B12 build up. This can make your blood thicker, disrupt your blood vessels, and raise homocysteine levels, a major stroke trigger. A 2020 study in stroke found that seniors with high B12 levels from injections were 3.5 times more likely to have an ischemic stroke, especially when combined with high folic acid. The symptoms can be mistaken for aging. Sudden dizziness, blurred vision, one-sided weakness, even brief moments of confusion or a drooping face after a shot. These could be signs of a microstroke, not just getting older. How can you stay safe? First, ask your doctor which form of B12 you're getting. If it's cyanobalamin, ask about switching to methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. They cost more but don't release cyanide and are safer for long-term use. Second, avoid high-dose B12 pills or injections unless a blood test confirms a real deficiency. For most seniors, 250 to 500 micrograms a few times a week is enough for maintenance. Finally, ask your doctor to check your homocysteine levels. If they're high, your current B12 plan could be adding to your risk. Now you know the 6 vitamins and supplements that can quietly raise your stroke risk, often without any symptoms. Most of these risks don't come from vitamins themselves, but from the wrong forms, wrong doses, or dangerous combinations that build up over time. If you're over 60, your body doesn't process supplements the same way it did when you were younger. Your liver and kidneys clear things more slowly. Your blood vessels are more fragile. Even small mistakes can make a big difference. That's why it's critical to check every supplement label. Look for red flags like DL-alpha tocopherol, synthetic vitamin E, or retinol palmitate, synthetic vitamin A. Be careful with stacks. Mixing ginkgo, vitamin E, or blood thinners without supervision can quietly set you up for a brain bleed. Test before you take. Ask your doctor for blood tests before starting high-dose B12 or any megadose vitamin. The good news? Most of these risks are easy to avoid. Switching to natural, food-based forms and using smaller doses can protect your brain, your blood flow, and your independence. If this video helped you, let us know in the comments. Which of these supplements are you taking right now? Are you planning to make any changes? We reply to every comment to help you make safer choices. And if you want to protect your health and stay informed, hit subscribe right now and turn on the bell icon. Our next video will reveal the 7 supplement stacks making seniors sick, and what to take instead. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.